Hi Sarah, welcome to this new format that we're doing when we answer important questions for our company and for the topic of bees. Right now, maybe in the last interview we're doing in this office, which is a fun fact because right after that we're going to move out. I want to ask you about a new, bold and very and risky opportunity that we're taking with our company, and that's the EcoPools. Because the company started with IoT technology, continue with Adopt a Hive, selling honey, going to different countries, and now we take another risk of using the bees as sensors and something that sounds very interesting and a little bit magical, but where's that in our strategy and why the company is taking this risk and this new opportunity?
Well, Wally, first of all, thank you for having me, maybe for the last time in this office. It's very exciting to share about EcoPools because, as you mentioned, our company changes, and the only thing that is constant is change, really, right? And we also are known for taking risks, but this is just because everything around us is also changing. And for now, I think that it's a change for good because ecosystem monitoring is something that is extremely important nowadays more than ever. But for me personally, using honeybees as sensors to monitor the ecosystems is actually my dream. This is the kernel around which we started this company back in the day, and I'm really glad that right now we have the ability to start really offering bees as sensors of the environment as a service to companies. So for me, this is not a risk, it's a natural progression. We give back to the communities, we give back to beekeepers, we are showing what sustainability in the beekeeping industry means, and EcoPools now is just the natural progression of things. This is the best way that we can utilize everything that the bees offer to us.
So, can you say that this is a next step or is a step in another direction for the company? How do you see it?
It's definitely a next step because we use the EcoPool service as a natural way to build on top of the relationships that we already have with companies. You know better than anybody that we have a lot of companies that are being our customers for about 4 or 5 years, and now the natural progression for them is to start using honeybees as sensors to really put their money where their impact is, negative or positive, because you know that a lot of companies now around the ESG, we started talking a lot about what is the impact of our company, what is the impact of our facility to the ecosystem, to the people around us. Unfortunately, that got really distorted, and now ESG is mostly referred to as a bad term or something that is really not working. And maybe this is because of the approach. But the good thing about us is that we did have sustainability in our core values right from the beginning, and our customers appreciate that. So I think that EcoPool service is kind of like a magnet for responsible companies. They aggregate around this and they say, we know that some of the activities that we do, they may be polluting the ecosystem around us. And we give them the floor to say that we are not hypocritical. We can become better and we can waste less resources, we can pollute less, but we need to be able to evaluate where we stand right now. So for me, EcoPools as a service is a great way for establishing a baseline of what is the biodiversity, what is the state of the ecosystem in the place where a certain company conducts its operations.
That sounds amazing. And what's the connection between the other things that we offer to companies like adopt a hive or corporate gifts or visits to beekeepers? How this all came together?
That's a very important question because when you sit outside of the company, it may seem that we are doing a lot of things. We do have a foundation, a beekeeping university, we have the Adopt a Hive program, we have a lot of different things. But to be honest, they're all related to one thing. It's about creating sustainability in the beekeeping sector, which is fundamental to agriculture, to biodiversity assessment, and according to many people, life on our planet.
So everything we do, you see one center, one core that connects all of them.
Yeah, it's the bee. It's the perfect metaphor. The little single bee is not super important to the hive. I hope you understand me correctly saying this, but a beehive, a bee colony is a superorganism, right? One single bee cannot make a lot of difference, but all the bees working together, they have the immense capacity of pollinating plant species, of understanding nature through genetic material that they're getting from those plants and centralizing them in a box for our convenience to really get the pollen out, test it using the eDNA technology, and provide back immense data about the quality of the ecosystem, about the biodiversity. And when I say biodiversity, it's not just we detected some sort of families of plant species. We are actually conducting DNA analysis on the pollen that we gather from bees. So what we end up with is unprecedented information about what plant species could be observed, and this is extremely important for biodiversity because you know how delicate is the balance in nature. We observe some native species, we observe some that are endemic sometimes, and a lot of the times we observe invasive species. So if we do know what we are dealing with and what is the baseline, this is a way for us to help companies understand their position in nature and what sort of impact they have so that they can make themselves better next year.
And what about the beekeepers? You are a beekeeper, and you more than anyone in our team understands the struggles and the problems. First of all, it's interesting to share, because we start working with beekeepers from all across Europe. Do they have similar problems between them? What is the difference between Romanian beekeepers and Czech beekeepers and Polish beekeepers? And second of all, how do you think that our programs are doing enough to fix the beekeeping sector right now, and what's missing?
Well, I'll start from the later question, and the simplest answer is no, our company is not doing enough. We could be doing much more. We need to be doing much more, and we need the support of other companies that understand us. We need good competition as well, because competition is where we actually create innovative solutions. Right now, not a lot is being done to measure and protect biodiversity. In terms of beekeepers, beekeepers do share a few very similar problems. So we conversate with beekeepers from across Europe, and two things that we find common between all of their challenges is they don't get paid enough for their product, which is essentially honey, and they don't get the respect that they deserve, being in the center of agriculture. So that is in Poland, that is in the Czech Republic, that is also in Germany. You might not believe it, but really German beekeepers also have a problem with those two issues. So we are helping beekeepers as well get to a state where they're being more respected, they're being fairly paid for the services that they offer. And with the EcoPool service, now there is additional revenue for them because they acquire new knowledge on how to use data that their bees are generating.
One last question. How do you see the world in terms of beekeepers and bees in 2050? What is 2050 for bees and beekeepers?
Well, that could really go in both directions. So in 2050, I believe that we are going to be able to use bees as sensors of the ecosystem to an extent that we have a smart grid of nature that is circling around the globe, because everywhere that we have green on the map, we also have bees. So it really makes sense that those mega important and effective little creatures are being used to aggregate genetic material that we can automatically, of course, in 2050 analyze and really have an accurate, up-to-date information about the ecosystems that we inhabit.
So in the positive 2050, bees are not only here, but they're basically our most important ally in fighting the changes of environment and protecting our nature.
Yes, we know about the negative aspects. We have conversated a lot on the negative aspects, but let's focus on the positive, because you know that we are going to do everything that we can possibly do in effort of preserving the delicate balance that is the ecosystem.
Do you believe that we can achieve it?
I believe it's not one company's job, but we can achieve it if we get more people to understand just how vital biodiversity is for everybody.
Thank you very much. I believe that, I hope that we inspire more people to get on board with our mission and our projects, because we're not doing only commercial projects, we're doing a lot of non-commercial work, and everyone could join and help, because as you said, 2050 could go in both ways, and we want to be only in one direction, which is the positive one, and we want all hands on deck.
All hands on deck. Thank you, Wally.